Alright, so there are 4 steps that we have to follow in chapter 2 in order for us to get the response. Step number 1, draw FDD. I have mentioned it to you. Number 2, apply Newton's law, whether it is a translational system or rotational system. I've mentioned it to you. And then step number 3, we combine 1 and 2 to get the equation of motion in terms of ODE, ordinary differential equation. Okay, so in order for us to solve that ordinary differential equation, we have to use the mathematical solution or mathematical way to solve it, using the method of undetermined coefficient. So we use the methods to solve for homogeneous equation, linear homogeneous equations, and then we should arrive at the solution. Kita panggil the two solutions. One is complementary solution, another one is the particular solution. Later on I will go to that one. So step number 4 adalah untuk kita, we try to get the response of the equation and we try to get the solution of the equation of motion. Okay, that is step number 4. Alright, so in order for us to get the response of the equation, so basically this is the last part, the last step, step number 4. Mathematically, we should get 2 type of response for ODE. One or 2 type of solution. One is, we call it as a complementary solution at CT here, okay, at CT here, and then the second one is XPT here. Okay, all right, and then but in this case, if you still remember, our equation of motion semuanya, all the equation is equal to 0. Kalau you ingat, so you akan dapat mx double dot plus kx plus cx dot is equal to 0. I theta double dot plus dengan cl square theta dot plus dengan kl square theta is equal to 0. Semuanya is equal to 0. Means that on the right hand side, there's no coefficient or there's no terms on the right hand side which is equal to 0. We call that mathematical equation as linear homogeneous equation. So for linear homogeneous equation, normally we just have the complementary part sahaja. Particular part ni sebelah kanan dia, on the right hand side of the equation, we should have a terms. Kita panggil force. Belah kanan dia sepatutnya kita ada term. So XPT ni akan exist di chapter 3. We will have this one XPT in chapter 3. In chapter 2, we just have the complementary solution. So I put it here for XPT is equal to 0. For single degree of freedom system, free vibration XPT is equal to 0. This XPT will only appear when we deal with force vibration chapter 3. Okay, so the one that we have here is XCT. After this, I will not write XCT anymore. I will just write as XT. You know it straight away. If I write the as XT, that is basically the complementary part of the solution, which is the response of the equation under free vibration. Okay, so we should derive this one. Tapi dalam buku Rao, you have a detail for this one. So I won't derive this one online, but you can go through the derivation in Rao's book. Okay, and then if you look at this, you have 2 type of roots. In order for us to derive the equation of motion, you will have 2 type of roots. One we call it different roots, the other one we call it as similar roots. Similar roots. So roots ni apa? Sebab if you still remember, we have the second order differential equation. Dia ada double dot, you have a dot, you have no dot over there. So that is a second order. So dia macam quadratic equation you buat dulu zaman-zaman you belajar matematik, quadratic equation. So you have 2 roots macam quadratic, x square plus x dan tak ada x tu. Bila you cari dia punya roots dia, you dapat 2 x, x1, x2. It's similar with this one. You have x double dot, x dot dengan x. When you get the roots, you akan dapat 2 roots. So dia akan jadi yang pertama roots dia sama, and the second one the roots is not similar at all. Okay, so dia ada 3 case yang mana roots dia tak sama, underdamped case, overdamped case dan juga undamped case. And dia ada 1 case yang roots dia sama, which is critically damped case. Untuk response kita akan deal dengan keempat-empat case ni. Kita akan buat by case. So what is underdamped? What is undamped? Undamped ni zeta yang kita deal sebelum ni. Zeta ni adalah dia punya damping ratio is equal to 0. Saya tulis dekat setiap case. Zeta is equal to 0 adalah undamped case. Jika zeta is equal to greater than 0, less than 1, that is underdamped case. If zeta greater than 1, that is overdamped case. if zeta equal to 1, that is critically damped case. Okay, so setiap case dia ada response dia sendiri, setiap case dia ada the solution dia sendiri. Okay, so in order for us to get this response, roots ni kita derive, ini roots dia, this is the roots, and then ataupun kita boleh represent it in different form, in different form here. Okay, so either one, sama ada kita represent it in terms of Cm dengan K, or we represent it as zeta omega n, either one, this is similar. Okay, so bila you ada this one, we can get the response equation, the solution for the equation. So daripada situ kita pakai this equation. If roots dia sama, kita pakai konsep of linear superposition yang ini. Kalau roots dia tak sama, if roots dia similar, when we use this linear superposition equation here. So if we substitute the roots into the equation here, and then we derive it, we will get this one. We will get this one. Ini apabila kita pakai zeta is equal to 0. For example, zeta is equal to 0, kita gantikan zeta 0 here, this term akan jadi 0, this term 0 dia akan jadi set ataupun square of minus 1. Since dia ada square of minus 1, ingat lagi you baca complex number, it is basically square of minus 1 multiplied by square 1. So square of minus 1 kita boleh gantikan dia dengan I ataupun J. That's why dia ada J omega n dekat sini. So you get roots for undamped case as plus minus J omega n. So this is different root. So bila different root, gantikan yang ini ke dalam equation yang ke atas ni, and then derive dia dalam buku raw detail, derive dia, then finally we will get this equation. So dalam exam selalunya equation ni diberi. That's why saya tak nak derive. So you need to know on how to use this equation in order for you to solve step number 4, to solve for the response, to solve the equation of motion. Okay, so this is the equations to be used for undamped case, okay, to get the response of the equation. So yang ini kita panggil the displacement. Response ni adalah displacement. Untuk kita dapat velocity, kita differentiate this equation sekali. In order for us to get the acceleration, we differentiate further lah. Okay, or we can present this equation differently, macam dekat bawah ni. Yang ini nanti macam saya cerita hari tu, masa saya mengajar harmonic motion, tapi saya akan buat juga harmonic motion punya video nanti untuk cerita macam mana nak convert from this equation to these two equation. Okay, so saya tulis note dekat sini, use initial condition to determine both A1 and A2. Okay, omega n kita dapat daripada equation lah, kita boleh solve terus. A1 dengan A2 kita pakai initial condition. So apa initial condition dekat sini? You will have two initial condition. One is x at time t is equal to 0 is equal to apa? And then satu lagi, x dot velocity at time t is equal to 0 is equal to apa? Kalau dia bagi initial condition dia at time t is equal to 0, at 0 is equal to 0, x dot 0 is equal to 0, then you substitute dia dekat t0 kat sini, t0 kat sini, t0 kat sini, x ni is equal to 0, then you differentiate sekali, you gantikan dekat tempat t0, 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 you akan dapat another equation. So two equation, two unknown A1 and A2, you can solve it simultaneously to get A1 and A2. So substitute nilai A1, nilai A2 here, you should get the final equation for the response. So untuk yang blue color ni adalah response for undamped case. And then green color, response for undamped case ni adalah this one. Okay, so zeta kita boleh kira daripada equation, omega n we can calculate it from the equation. A1 and A2 you can use the initial condition untuk dapatkan A1 and A2. Omega D kita boleh kira. Omega D macam mana equation dia? Omega D is equal to omega n multiplied by sec 1 minus zeta square. Alright. So you calculate the omega D, you substitute it here, and then using the initial condition to determine A1 and A2. Or we can represent it differently using these two equation. Mana-mana boleh pakai. Cumanya if you have the past exam question, dalam exam question selalunya dia bagi yang ini saja. Yang ini saja. Okay, this equation is given. So your task is you need to know on how to use this equation in order to determine the response of the system. So untuk pakai this equation, you need to know on how to determine A1 and A2. which is using the initial condition. How to determine A1 and A2 using the initial condition. Untuk kes yang ketiga keempat ni sangat straightforward, sebab if you look at here, since zeta nilai dia lebih besar daripada 1 or equal to 1, roots dia ni akan jadi real roots. So bila dia real roots, nombor dia tak ada complex conjugate, dia tak ada complex roots. So dia real roots straight away. So senang, you masukkan dalam equation tadi ni, equation ni. So bila kita gantikan nilai ni nilai real. Real tu maksud dia nombor lah. 5 ke 3 ke whatever. So you boleh tekan calculator terus. So bila masuk kat sini, contoh exponential of 3t plus exponential of 5t. So gantikan initial condition dia at time t 0, gantikan 0, 0, you akan dapat A1 berapa, A2 berapa, and then you dapat terus response equation. Similarly for the critically damped case. Roots dia sama, bila roots sama kita pakai the second equation pakai the second equation. Okay, dia ini difference dia ada t kat tengah-tengah ni dia ada t. So you substitute the roots, you get straight away the response equation. So it easy for nombor 3, nombor 4 sangat straightforward lah for us to get the response equation. Tak nak tanya? So saya recap balik ataupun saya review balik. Untuk response step number 4, apabila kita go through step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, you just need to know you nak pakai case mana. So bila you sampai step 3, kita kira dia punya omega n, we calculate dia punya damping ratio. Bila you tengok damping, let's say damping nilai dia 0.5. So bila 0.5, case mana? 0.5. So bila 0.5, oh okay, that is in between 0 to 1, that is underdamped case. Okay, tapi bila you tengok, oh this is undamped sebab zeta tak is equal to 0, damping tak ada, that is case number 1. Ataupun you kira-kira you dapat zeta is equal to 1.7. Oh, that is greater than 1, that is case number 3. Okay. Bila you tahu case mana, and then you need to know equation mana nak pakai. So, contoh kalau kira-kira you dapat 1.7 or case 3, then straight away equation yang for number 3 you pakai. Okay, so pakai equation ni je. Tulis terus equation ni for step number 4, and then tugas you hanyalah cari what is A1, what is A2. So macam mana nak cari dia? Menggunakan pakai initial condition. And of course you kena tahu juga roots lah. You nak kena cari roots S1 dengan S2 lah. Kena cari juga Alright. So yang itu kena buat lah. Kena buat dalam solution. Okay. So benda-benda yang saya tulis ni yang important information lah yang you kena keep in mind when you solve the problems. So step number 4 saya ulang. Step number 4. First you need to know the damping ratio. If the damping ratio value is greater than 1, then that is overdamped case. Between 1 and 0, that is underdamped case. Or equal to 1, that is critically damped case. Or there is no damping in the system, that is undamped case. Once you know which type of system that you deal with, then you know which equation you should use for step number 4. Once you know the equation, then you need to determine the unknown parameters A1 and A2 using the initial condition. That is the step number 4. Okay? Alright, ada question? Untuk response equation. Any questions? So now we're going to deal with stability case. Yang ini case. So okay. Alright, now we're going to deal with the stability case. So before this, I showed to you the case with the mg, the condition at static equilibrium. The mg will be cancelled out with the k delta before this. For this case, you won't have that condition anymore. Because at static equilibrium, if you look at the system here, okay, you have a bar here at static equilibrium condition. At this condition, you have a static equilibrium condition. So pada masa ni, there is no string is not pre-stretched. At this condition, string is not pre-stretched due to the mg. Spring at static equilibrium condition, there is no pre-stretch. There is no k delta in this condition. Okay, so if we solve this problem, it will follow the 4 steps that we have. So in order for us to solve this problem, we will have the 4 steps here. Step number 1, we should have the free body diagram. All right, that is step number 1, free body diagram. Okay, so in order for us to draw free body diagram here, so let's draw FBD. So we have this one. Okay. All right. Oops. Sorry. Okay. So you have this reference point here as O. All right. So let's make it longer sikit. Let's make it longer. Okay. All right. So for this one, we have two forces. Okay. If let's say there is no coordinate here, there is no coordinate system in these problems. So you can make your own assumption. Either you want this particular bar rotate in this direction, or you want it to rotate in that direction. It is up to you. Sama ada you use this as your coordinate system, the red color or the green color as your coordinate system. So I would like to maintain as one coordinate system here, which is I use the red color, rotating clockwise direction. So I remove the green color. Remove the green color here. Okay, remove this one. Remove this one. All right. Okay, and then when this bar rotate clockwise direction, what happens to the spring over here? There are two springs on top at the position A over there, and then we have the first spring. This spring will experience compression. Okay, this spring will experience tension. Okay, when it rotate clockwise direction. So bila dia in tension, we draw FBD, we draw dia in, draw this in compression. Ya, ini the second one, dia in compression, we draw the FBD, dia in tension. Okay, so that is how you draw the free body diagram. All right, so let's put the coordinate here. So let's say kita we rotate it clockwise direction, so we rotate in that direction, X. Okay, all right, so let's remove this one since we are not interested with this one, so remove this one. So you have two forces there. Okay, so for the spring, so kat sini if we use the X coordinate, so we will have here K multiplied by X. Over here, you also have K multiplied by X. And don't forget, you have the mg over here. Okay, you have the mg over here. Okay, all right. So in order to have this one, I should draw it differently. In order to have this one, so this is at static equilibrium condition. Sorry, I should delete this one first. So I should delete this one first. Okay, this is at static equilibrium condition. This is at static equilibrium condition. All right. Then when it is moving, when this one is moving, okay, when this one is moving, let's say kita put it as this one, as this length, for example. Okay, it is moving to that position. So this is still X, This is our X now. This is our X. Sorry. This is our X coordinate systems. Okay, so you have two forces there as before. So this is KX, this is KX, and you have mg over here. So you have mg, and then this is point O, Alright, this is point O. Okay, so this is your X. Okay. Alright, so once it is moving clockwise direction, theta. Oh, sorry. Theta. It is moving with theta clockwise direction. So you have that one. So saya kata, I have told you before, whether you represent it as kx or you can represent it as, let's say we use the blue color, or we represent it as rotating coordinate system, theta. So this one is k multiplied by, since the length of this bar is L, so you can multiply by L theta. Kat sini k multiplied by L theta. Okay. How we get this k L theta? So if you still remember, it will move something like this. Kita ambil small angle theta. So this is the theta. So this is the X, this is L. So in this case, this is new L. So L sin theta. X ni, kalau kita ambil ni, this is L. Ingat lagi for small angle theta? For small angle theta, okay, if you still remember, sin theta is equal to theta. Ya, ini is equal to tangent theta. Okay, cos theta is equal to 1. Saya rasa saya dah sebut banyak kali dekat you, so hopefully you still remember this one. Okay, so sin theta is equal to tangent theta, cos theta is equal to 1. So either one, if you use tentang per sebelah x over L, that is tangent theta, so you get x is equal to L theta, or you use L sin theta, you still get x is equal to L theta in this case. Alright, so ataupun cara yang zaman SPM tu pakai sector tu, panjang ni is equal to dijari kali dengan theta. Either one, saya dah terang during the face-to-face class. Okay, so you use this one, either these two. That is step number 1. Right. Step number 2. Step number 2, saya kata you select the Newton's law. Okay, so in this case, since dia rotate, so kita pakai summation of moment is equal to I theta double dot. So nak ambil moment about which axis? Axis passing through point O in this case, sebab the whole bar rotating about point O, which is about an axis passing through point O. Okay, then kita tulis dekat sini point O, positive direction is rotating, is clockwise direction. Okay, so once you have this one, step number 3, kita tulis that we have the we apply the step 1 and step 2. In this case, you have 3 forces, kx, mg. So in this case, you have, so kx rotating, if we rotate about point O, kx is going to rotate counterclockwise, mg is going to rotate clockwise direction. So you have here, so let's say we write it as kx first. So you have minus kx multiplied by the distance, multiplied by the distance. So distance dia adalah perpendicular distance, So perpendicular distance in this case adalah the L cos theta, which is, you can write something like this, You can write L cos theta, okay, minus kx multiplied by L cos theta plus dengan mg, plus mg multiplied by, so perpendicular distance dia adalah L over 2 sin theta. Okay, that is equal to I naught theta double dot. Or we can write it something like this. Bila kita boleh tulis macam ni. So minus kx multiplied by distance. Since kita dah tahu dah distance dia adalah perpendicular is L. So we can write it as L minus dengan kx multiplied by L plus dengan, so kalau awak perhatikan mg multiplied by this distance, this distance adalah L over 2 kali dengan theta. Okay, ni distance kat sini. Okay, kalau saya plot this one, you ada this one. So this is distance ni, distance ni, let's say I put it as P here. This is X. So this is, so X is equal to L theta. Ini theta over there. So P is equal to L over 2 theta. So kalau kita nak pakai for mg ni, it's going to be equal to mg L over 2 multiplied by theta. Sebab mg multiplied by distance P. Sebab mg dia ke sini ke bawah. If you still remember, this is the force dekat sini, mg dia. Okay, mg ke bawah. Alright, so distance, perpendicular distance with point O kat sini adalah P. So mg multiplied by P here, then you get mg kali dengan L over 2 theta. Alright, that is equal to I naught theta double dot. Okay, kalau kita tengok the relation over here, so you tengok L cos theta for small angle theta is equal to 1, if you still remember. Cos theta for small angle theta is equal to 1, sin theta for small angle theta is equal to theta. So kalau you substitute here, you get the same things. You substitute here, you get the same things. You get the same things. You get the same things. Okay, so it's basically similar, right, for these two. Okay, so what is X here? What is X here? What is X here? What is X here? Saya pakai pen color hijau. What is X? What is X here? So this X is equal to, kalau you ingat tadi, ini X dia kat sini. So X is equal to L theta. Ataupun kalau you nak pakai L cos theta, it doesn't matter. Sorry, X is equal to L sin theta. So kat sini kalau kita pakai X, this X, you can write something like this. You can write something like this. L sin theta ataupun L over 2 sin theta. So for small angle theta, yang ini adalah theta, yang ini adalah theta. You get the same answer. So kita boleh tulis kat sini X is equal to L sin theta or L theta. Boleh, mana-mana, no problem. We can write here L sin theta or ini X ni is equal to L theta. Mana-mana pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Alright, then finally, if we arrange this equation, finally we should have I naught theta double dot plus K L squared theta plus K L squared theta minus mg L over 2 theta, that is equal to 0. Okay, alright. So if we arrange this one, rearrange this one, so since everything's in the same coordinate system, theta, so we have I naught theta double dot plus, ini 2KL, so you ada 2KL square minus mgl over 2 bracket this whole things as theta, that is equal to 0. So this is our equation of motion. This is our equation of motion. So if let's say the further question for this one, it asks you to determine the natural frequency. So what is the natural frequency? There are two ways to get the natural frequency. One, we compare with the standard parametric equation. So saya pakai the green color again. So standard parametric equation ini dia, plus dengan 2 zeta omega n x dot plus omega n square x is equal to 0. In this case, there is no x dot terms. So kita tukar this color, yang ini there is no term, tak ada dot, double dot terus theta, there is no theta dot, so there's no x dot terms. Yang ada hanyalah double dot and also the x. So how to compare these two? So please ensure that the same coefficient here. Please ensure that the same coefficient here. Okay, so kalau nak compare, if you want to compare these two, you should use this one. You should use this one. So theta double dot plus 2KL square minus mgl over 2, divide the whole thing by I naught, and then this is theta, that is equal to 0. Then baru you boleh compare. Nampak tak? Dia punya coefficient kat sini is 1. Coefficient kat sini is 1. Then you can compare. So how to compare this one? So omega n is equal to square is equal to 2kl square minus mgl over 2 divided by I naught. Okay, so that is your omega n. So if you want to get the omega the omega n, we just delete this one and then we put the term square root over there. That is your omega n. There is one way. Or we determine omega n through the equation set of k equivalent divided by m equivalent. So what is the k equivalent? So this is your, okay, so let's delete this one. Get more space here. Get more space there. Okay. So what is your k equivalent here? So this is m equivalent and this whole thing adalah k equivalent. Okay. Alright, so to use this one, k equivalent, you should have the set of apa k equivalent here? 2kl square minus mgl divided by 2 divided by m equivalent. What is m equivalent here? I naught divided by I naught divided by I naught. So it's similar answer here. You can compare. Alright. So in this case, mg will not be cancelled out with the static deflection, but mg will exist in your final equation of motion for this case. Alright. So any question nak tanya here? Any question? So then step number 4, if let's say this is the case, step number 4, determine the response. Okay, step number 4, response of the system. So in order to determine the response, we have to solve this equation. Okay. So case ini case apa? This case is undamped case. This is undamped case. So since it is undamped case, so we look at the undamped punya equation. So okay, this is the undamped equation. Okay, this is the undamped equation. Alright, so this one, and then we solve this undamped equation. We know that the solution is going to be equal to A1 cos omega nt plus A2 sin omega nt. Alright, so omega n, you know it from this equation here, over here, this equation, and then A1 and A2. So how to get A1 and A2? So A1 and A2 can be determined using initial condition. Okay, so how normally the initial conditions are given in the equation? So at t is equal to 0, your x 0 is equal to, selalunya we put a symbol x naught, and then x dot 0 is equal to x dot naught. Okay, x dot naught, symbol ya. Alright, so how to use it? Substitute these two, okay, into the equation. So x 0, that is equal to x naught is equal to A1 cos omega n multiplied by cos omega n multiplied by 0, sebab T0 in this case, plus dengan A2 sin omega n multiplied by 0. So you should have x naught is equal to cos omega n multiplied by 0 is 0. So cos 0 in this case is equal to 1. Okay. Sin 0 in this case is equal to 0. Okay. So you get that A1 is equal to x naught. Alright. And then you differentiate this equation once. okay, you akan dapat x dot t is equal to, differentiate yang ini sekali, so you akan dapat that x dot t is equal to, so you akan dapat A1 omega n, okay, minus sin omega n t. Kenapa minus? Sebab this is a cosine, so you differentiate the once, you akan dapat minus plus A2 omega n cos omega n t. So substitute our initial condition tadi at time t is equal to 0 is equal to x dot 0 is equal to minus A1 omega n sin omega n multiplied by 0 plus dengan A2 omega n cos omega n multiplied by 0. Alright? Right? So from here you get that x dot 0 is equal to sin 0 again is equal to 0. So this one is minus A1 omega n multiplied by 0. Cos 0 is equal to 1. So you get plus A2 multiplied by omega n multiplied by 1. Okay. So this term cancel out. So you should have the A2 in this term is equal to x dot naught divided by omega n. So substitute A1 and A2 back into this equation. So you should have the final equation here. Xt is equal to x naught cos omega nt plus dengan x dot naught divided by omega n sin omega n t. That is our solution for the system or the response for the system. So if it is given, the value is given for you in the final exam question or in the assessment question for x naught, x dot naught, omega n can be determined, then you get the equation with numbers. And differentiate this equation, you get the velocity, differentiate further, you get the acceleration. That is step number 4. Okay. Alright then. Any question? Sampai situ je kot for today. Any question? Okay, tak ada question Alright, so saya recap. Hari ni kita buat stability punya case. So we look at the stability case and then we look at the energy method a bit. And then we left with another one which is to determine the logarithmic decrement for chapter 2. After that we finish chapter 2. Of course I will put tutorial question dan juga contoh nanti. Hopefully you boleh tengok pada kelas yang hari Selasa next week dengan hari Selasa next week lah. Okay. Alright. So next week masa kelas hari Selasa tu you kena buat tutorial and then you have to go through the material yang saya letak nantilah. Okay. Masa hari Selasa. Saya bagi sikit time free dekat you lah untuk dekat situ. So apa yang you kena buat, time free, of course you busy lah masa ODL ni tapi time ada masa, you go through, jangan pastikan you go through the material the material saya yang dekat U-Future, pastikan go through. Walaupun you dah tengok dalam folder chapter 1 contoh dia, tengok selalu sebab kadang-kadang saya upload benda lain dalam tu. So you tengok apa yang tak ada, tutorial, you tengok notes, you tengok activity, jangan lupa you kena tengok dekat dua tempat, one dalam folder content, satu lagi dekat activity, learning activities. Kat situ saya akan post activity PBL, you kena jawab, you kena komen dan sebagainya lah. Okay. Dan juga dekat forum discussion, I discuss lah. Tengok apa yang saya akan minta you komen nanti kat situ. Okay, so you kena aktif kat situ dekat discussion, dekat activities and then tengok material sentiasa. Okay, sebab kadang-kadang saya akan upload material tak ikut time lah. Ada material saya akan upload material dalam you punya U-Future punya platform. Okay, so kena sentiasa tengok, kena sentiasa lihat lah. Ada question tak? Question lain nak tanya? Alright, kalau tak ada, so kita berhenti kat situ for today. Thank you very much. So you boleh continue, dah ada setengah jam lagi, boleh continue untuk tengok material yang sedia ada. If let's say you have anything, please post question dekat discussion, I discuss. You boleh post question dekat I discuss, no problem. ataupun you can WhatsApp, ataupun you can email me, ataupun you boleh letak dekat komen dekat aktiviti. You post anything if ada benda-benda yang tak clear. And of course saya akan letak tutorial within this week untuk chapter 1, chapter 2, so you boleh buat lah tutorial. Okay. So kalau tak ada question, thank you very much. Kita jumpa lagi next week. And then pastikan time class Selasa dengan Khamis tu you buat aktiviti dekat YouFuture dekat YouFuture. Okay. Alright then, thank you very much. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Jumpa lagi, stay safe.